Himalayan water crisis, the next geopolitical flashpoint. The Himalayas, often hailed as the water tower of Asia, serve as a vital lifeline for nearly 2 billion people across South Asia. These majestic mountains sustain some of the world's most important river systems, including the Indus, Ganges and Brahmaputra, which provide fresh water for drinking, agriculture and industry. For centuries, these rivers have shaped the civilizations that depend on them, fostering prosperity and cultural heritage across the region. However, this once reliable source of life is now under grave threat. Climate change, rapid glacier melt, and large-scale infrastructure projects are disrupting natural water flows, leading to increased scarcity. As water resources dwindle, tensions among South Asian nations are escalating, raising concerns that disputes over access and control could turn into full-blown geopolitical confrontations. Could the next great conflict emerge from the melting glaciers of the Himalayas? With India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan and China all deeply invested in securing their share of the region's water, the stakes have never been higher. The battle for access to these diminishing resources is no longer a distant concern. It's happening now. But while the risk of water wars looms, there is still hope. Regional cooperation, sustainable water management, and urgent climate action could transform water from a source of conflict into a tool for peace. The choices made today will determine whether the Himalayan water crisis becomes a catalyst for war or a turning point for collaboration. Welcome to the Global Insight. The Himalayan water system is the foundation of life for nearly a quarter of the world's population. Its vast network of glaciers, rivers and tributaries sustains agriculture, provides drinking water and generates hydroelectric power for millions across South Asia. Nations like India, China, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan and Bangladesh depend heavily on these water resources to fuel their economies and ensure food safety. The Ganges, Brahmaputra and Indus rivers, some of the mightiest in the world, originate from the Himalayas, carrying life-giving water downstream to densely populated regions. Without these rivers, entire ecosystems, farming communities and industries would face devastation. The Ganges River basin alone supports approximately 600 million people in India, serving as the backbone of the country's agricultural sector. Its waters irrigate vast stretches of farmland, ensuring the production of staple crops such as rice and wheat, which are essential to India's food security. Similarly, the Indus River is crucial to Pakistan, where it supplies water to over 90% of the nation's irrigated land. In Nepal and Bhutan, fast-flowing Himalayan rivers drive hydroelectric projects, supplying energy domestically and for export to neighbouring countries. Meanwhile, Bangladesh, situated at the confluence of these great rivers, relies on their steady flow to sustain its agricultural economy and protect against seasonal droughts. The Himalayan water system is not just a natural resource, it is a strategic asset. Control and distribution have profound geopolitical consequences. Control over the region's water resources has increasingly become a battleground for geopolitical maneuvering, and China's extensive dam building projects on the Tibetan Plateau are at the heart of the dispute. At the center of these tensions is the ambitious plan to construct a massive dam on the Yarlung Tsangpo River, which flows as the Brahmaputra in India. According to The Diplomat in 2025, this dam is projected to be the world's largest hydropower facility, capable of generating nearly 3 times the power of the Three Gorges Dam. The project, situated at the Great Bend of the river as part of China's 14th five-year plan, aims to produce roughly 300 billion kilowatt-hours of electricity annually. However, its sheer scale, along with the lack of detailed hydrological data sharing and assurances regarding minimal downstream impact, has heightened concerns among neighbouring nations that depend on these waters for their livelihoods. In addition to the looming dam project, the long-standing Indus Waters Treaty between India and Pakistan is under increasing strain amid growing water scarcity. Both countries have levelled accusations of treaty violations against each other, further complicating an already volatile situation. Moreover, the dam's location in a seismically active region raises additional red flags, with experts citing potential risks of earthquakes and landslides as reported by the Tibetan Review and the New York Times in 2025. These uncertainties not only threaten to disrupt water flows for millions in India and Bangladesh, but also deepen existing mistrust among regional stakeholders, setting the stage for a future where water could either be a conduit for conflict or a catalyst for much-needed cooperation. Climate change is dramatically reshaping the Himalayan water landscape, accelerating glacial retreat and intensifying water security challenges across South Asia. Rising global temperatures have led to an alarming rate of glacier melt, with recent studies from ICIMOD warning that up to 2/3 of the Himalayan glaciers could disappear by 2100 if current warming trends persist. This rapid loss of ice poses a dual threat. While it initially increases water flow, leading to catastrophic floods, it ultimately results in prolonged droughts once the glaciers shrink beyond recovery. Millions of people who depend on these glaciers for their water supply, agriculture, and daily sustenance are now at risk of losing their primary source of fresh water. Meanwhile, according to NASA, melting glaciers are also contributing significantly to global sea level rise, exacerbating environmental challenges far beyond the Himalayan region. The consequences of this crisis are already being felt. In regions like Kashmir, where once pristine lakes and rivers are now drying up due to soaring temperatures, water shortages are severely affecting both local communities and agricultural production. The Hindu Kush Himalaya region, spanning India, Nepal, and Pakistan, faces immense challenges in managing these water resources sustainably. If global temperatures rise by 1.5 to 2 degrees Celsius, scientists predict that 30% to 50% of the region's glaciers will be lost by the end of the century. A more extreme temperature increase of 3 degrees Celsius could lead to an astonishing 75% reduction in glacial volume. These changes threaten food security, disrupt river ecosystems, and increase the frequency of extreme weather events, making the need for climate adaptation strategies more urgent than ever. As water resources in the Himalayas dwindle, competition over access threatens to escalate into conflict. The strategic use of water as a geopolitical tool is not a hypothetical scenario. It has already played out in past disputes. A stark example occurred during the 2017 Doklam standoff between China and India, when Beijing temporarily suspended the sharing of crucial hydrological data with India. This data, vital for flood control planning along the Brahmaputra River, was withheld under the pretext of technical reasons, linked to the upgrading of monitoring stations in Tibet, as reported by War on the Rocks and the BBC in 2017. However, China continued to provide this information to Bangladesh, raising suspicions that the move was politically motivated rather than a mere technical issue. This event underscored how water resources can be weaponized in broader territorial and strategic disputes, setting a troubling precedent for future conflicts. Yet, while the risk of water-driven confrontations looms large, there remains significant potential for cooperation. Strengthening existing treaties, ensuring transparent data sharing, and fostering multilateral dialogues could help turn water from a source of discord into a foundation for peace. Encouragingly, China resumed sharing Brahmaputra water flow data with India in May 2023, according to Dialogue Earth, signaling that diplomatic solutions remain possible, even in tense geopolitical climates. Nepal, uniquely positioned between India and China, could serve as a neutral mediator in regional water-sharing agreements, advocating for equitable distribution and sustainable management of these vital resources. If approached with a spirit of collaboration rather than competition, transboundary water governance could not only ease tensions, but also lay the groundwork for regional stability and prosperity. The Himalayan water crisis demands urgent, multi-layered solutions that prioritize sustainability, climate resilience, and regional collaboration. Implementing sustainable water management practices is essential for conserving water resources in this fragile region. Strategies such as rainwater harvesting, improving irrigation efficiency, and minimizing water wastage are key to securing future water supplies. In Sikkim, researchers have identified optimal sites for rainwater harvesting reservoirs to enhance water security in mountainous areas, according to research published by Lifeline in 2024. Community-driven initiatives have also played a vital role in water conservation, with participatory approaches successfully implemented in Nepal and Bangladesh to improve urban water security. According to APN-GCR in 2024, these initiatives address the complex interplay between water security and urban management, ensuring that local voices are included in decision-making processes. Additionally, integrating sustainable agricultural practices such as climate-resilient farming and responsible animal husbandry can help maintain food security while reducing environmental degradation. Beyond localized efforts, tackling climate change itself is crucial to slowing the rapid glacier melt that threatens the Himalayan water system. Reducing global greenhouse gas emissions through reforestation and the transition to renewable energy is a key strategy. The European Union has demonstrated significant progress, cutting emissions by more than 37% by 2023 compared to 1990 levels as reported by the European Environment Agency. This success has been driven by a shift to renewable energy, improved energy efficiency, and a decline in fossil fuel reliance. Looking ahead, the EU aims to cut emissions by at least 55% by 2030 and achieve climate neutrality by 2050. A similar commitment from South Asian nations, through a combination of clean energy adoption, halting deforestation, and sustainable land use, could help mitigate the effects of climate change on the region's vital water sources. Cooperation among South Asian nations is critical to managing shared water resources effectively and preventing future conflicts. Establishing robust water sharing agreements, ensuring real-time data exchange, and fostering transparent negotiations can build trust among nations. The Indus Waters Treaty, IWT, between India and Pakistan, signed in 1960, is often cited as a successful model of water diplomacy. Despite ongoing tensions, the treaty has endured, proving that even rival nations can find common ground in water management, as highlighted by Geneva Global Policy Briefs. Other regional agreements, such as the Kosi Treaty 1975 and Mahakali Treaty 1996 between India and Nepal, as well as the 1996 Ganges Water Sharing Agreement between India and Bangladesh, have also facilitated cooperation despite periodic disputes, according to Water Beyond Borders. International legal frameworks, such as the United Nations Watercourses Convention of 1997 and the Helsinki Rules of 1966, provide additional guidelines for equitable transboundary water management. These frameworks emphasize principles of cooperation, sustainable usage, and conflict resolution, as noted by the IWRM Action Hub. Strengthening existing agreements and developing new multilateral frameworks for Himalayan water governance could help turn potential conflicts into opportunities for collaboration. By prioritizing diplomacy, sustainable water use, and climate resilience, South Asia can navigate its water crisis without descending into geopolitical turmoil. The challenge ahead is immense, but with the right strategies, the Himalayas' lifeblood can continue to sustain the region for generations to come. The Himalayan water crisis is more than an environmental issue. It is a geopolitical flashpoint that could either fuel future conflicts or inspire new forms of regional cooperation. The rapid depletion of glaciers, unregulated dam projects, and increasing water scarcity are already straining relations among South Asian nations. If decisive action is not taken, these tensions could escalate, turning water into a weapon of geopolitical leverage. However, the future is not predetermined. The choices made today, whether through sustainable water management, climate action, or diplomatic collaboration, will shape whether the Himalayas' vast water resources remain a source of sustenance or become a cause for discord. It is imperative that nations recognize their shared dependency on these vital waters and work collectively to ensure their long-term preservation. Strengthening existing treaties, embracing sustainable practices, and fostering trust through transparent data sharing mechanisms could prevent water disputes from spiraling into full-scale crises. The Himalayas, often called the Water Tower of Asia, holds the power to either divide or unite the region. If South Asian nations commit to cooperation rather than competition, this crisis could be transformed into an opportunity, one that safeguards both regional stability and the livelihoods of billions. That's it from the team at the Global Insight for now. We want to hear what you think. How does the Himalayan water crisis affect you? Do you believe that regional cooperation is possible, or is conflict inevitable? What steps do you think governments should take in order to prevent water wars in South Asia? And as always, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel here at The Global Insight. And until next time, stay tuned.